Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. Today I want to show you what fragrances I will be using this summertime. Now, if you are not new to my channel, most likely you know that I don't really rotate my fragrances based on seasons. I wear the fragrances that I wear in winter, most of them, not all of them, but most of them I wear them during the summer, during the spring, during the autumn season. Basically, I wear my fragrances all year round. I don't care about daytime fragrances or nighttime fragrances. I choose fragrances based on my mood, based on how I feel, based on my outfit. So yeah, but honestly, mainly I choose fragrances based on how I feel. Maybe this is why I tend to choose the same fragrances again and again, but I don't know. I'm the kind of person, like, once I discover like 20 fragrances, I mean, I'm talking like specific now. I have like 20-30 fragrances that I could use now for the rest of my life and I would be happy. But yeah, so today I want to show you what fragrances I will be using this summertime. So like I said, today I want to show you what fragrances I will be using this warm season a lot. Now, please keep in mind, I tend to prefer heavier fragrances. I am not really a citrus lover when it comes to fragrances. I don't have many aquatics in my collection. I have none actually, basically I don't have a lot of like stereotypical summer fragrances. So if any of these fragrances, let's just say, catches your interest, please do your own research. Don't just blind buy something. And like I always say, you guys, if you have the possibility, buy a sample, buy a decant and test it for yourself, because fragrance is very personal. Okay, so with this in mind, let's start with the fragrance that I have been using it the most lately. Like, you guys, since I got this fragrance, I don't remember, for like a month. I don't think it's been a month, honestly, but since I got this fragrance, I have been using it non-stop, daytime, nighttime, all the time basically. Let me show you how much I have used. This is called Red Velvet from Maison Asrar. Now, if you haven't watched this video, Maison Asrar is like a fragrance house that basically specialized in clones, in inspirations, in dupes of different popular designer and niche fragrances. I would say it's in the same field as Paris Corner. So yeah, now basically I bought this one from Dubai Collection. So if you're based in Europe, you can buy it from Dubai Collection. Oh guys, and speaking of Dubai Collection, if you are based in the European Union, they actually just finished their website in English for their customers from Europe. I will leave the website down below, so if you want to shop any fragrances from Maison Asrar, from Paris Corner and from a bunch of different brands, you can buy their full bottles at amazing prices. You can buy their 2 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml decants at, again, amazing prices. So yeah, feel free to check out their website, and also the code that I had before applies to this new website as well. So yeah, if you are interested, feel free to check it out. Now, speaking of Red Velvet, you guys, this fragrance is so beautiful. Now, this is, hold on, I'm sorry, my hair just goes everywhere in my eyes. Now, speaking of Red Velvet, this fragrance is an inspiration of Burberry Her from Burberry. I never thought that I would, let's just say, I would fall in love so much with this DNA, but the more I tested this fragrance, the more I was hooked on it. So yeah, let me show you how much I have used it. And again, guys, keep in mind, I have this fragrance in my collection for what? Not even a month. Like, when I say that I have been using this fragrance non-stop, I have been using this fragrance non-stop and I love it. I think honestly this one will be like my go-to summer scent. Works amazing in the daytime, works amazing at nighttime. It's a very like fun, feminine, playful, sexy kind of fragrance. Basically, how this one smells like to me, imagine you have this fake strawberry smell, like strawberry concentrated juice or something like this, you know, so it's not the real strawberry from your garden, it's like fake, artificial. But I feel like this is what adds that like playfulness to the scent, you know, mixed with some mixed with some sweet citruses, and with that like translucent, transparent Baccarat Rouge type of DNA, but it's heavier on oak moss, what I have noticed. But the oak moss, like I've mentioned in the review, it's almost like it's wrapped within the fruity notes, within the sweet citruses, so you don't get the full complexity of the oak moss smell. You just get hints here and there, you know, but it's very beautiful, it's very balanced, longevity is amazing, sillage is amazing, performance is amazing. I overspray this fragrance like crazy. I do like 10, 15, maybe sometimes even more, honestly, but I'm not counting, so I do overspray this fragrance, but I'm loving it. It's very affordable, it's around this much. I will insert the price here. So if you wanted something similar to Burberry Her for the summertime, but keep in mind, it's like Burberry Her with some added like sweet citruses. If you have tried Amber Oud Gold Edition from Al Haramain, then I think you know those sweet citruses. I'm talking about the same sweet citruses, but here they are mixed with that like fake strawberry and everything that I've told you. So yeah, love this fragrance. Clearly my most used fragrance at the moment, and it's a fragrance that I feel like by the end of the summer I will finish it. Honestly, I will use it up, and I do think I would repurchase it because I am really drawn to this fragrance at the moment. I don't know, it's almost like it put a spell on me, you know, like whenever I go to my fragrance collection, I'm just reaching for this one again and again. And I even like those two, basically they sent me like two 2 ml decants. Those I put them in my purse, like when I'm going out I reapply my fragrance, and I always like I keep decanting from the bottle and to put in the small decants that I have, you know. Basically I always have this fragrance with me, not necessarily full bottle because it's quite a heavy bottle, it's quite a big bottle. But I have samples that I always carry with me. So yes, let's move on to a fragrance that I have had this fragrance in my collection since 2019. Like, you guys, this is Tresor La Nuit from Lancome, and I have a little bit of it left. Honestly, I want to finish it. But let me tell you something. Honestly, I feel like after I finished the fragrance from Afnan, Modest D'Eau for Women, I think I actually preferred that fragrance to this one. I don't know, that fragrance, it's basically they are very similar. Again, I have a review for that fragrance, but that one has this like, imagine like the same DNA, but you take out the incense here, you take out those like deeper incensey notes, you amplify the patchouli, but imagine the patchouli having like dark chocolatey undertones, you know, and you add the beautiful cherry accord. It's beautiful, you guys, that fragrance I'm talking about. Now, this one is very beautiful as well, but I don't know, like, since I have discovered this fragrance, I just prefer it so much more, like, yeah, and I really miss wearing this fragrance. Now, you might ask yourself, why don't I just repurchase this fragrance since it's so affordable? Well, because I want to finish this one up, first of all, because I have a Becca bottle of this one. Like I have a 100 ml Becca bottle of this fragrance. Now I still love this fragrance, don't get me wrong, I still love to wear it, but it's just between these two, like, I don't know, like sometimes I just miss the other one, you know? Like first world problems. Yeah, but this one, again, I feel like by the end of the summer it will be used up completely. If I wouldn't have had the Becca bottle, would I repurchase this one? Honestly, I think I would. I don't know if I would buy the biggest bottle available again. Maybe I would buy either this one, either the smaller one, but I still would like to have it in my collection because it's a fragrance that, I don't know, I have amazing memories with it. I used to wear this fragrance a lot during summer nights. Yeah, so I have amazing memories with this fragrance, but I feel like I still would like to have it in my collection, you know, like one way or another. But if you are interested in something very similar to this one, now I'm not talking about like a one-on-one dupe, something that smells a bit more sophisticated, a bit more mysterious, you know, a bit more seductive, I would say, check out Modest D'Eau for Women from Afnan. I don't think you will be disappointed, honestly. Now, speaking of designer fragrances that I love, this next one is a fragrance that at the moment, I have like two obsessions, I would say. I have Red Velvet from Maison Asrar, and I have this one, which is La Belle Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. This fragrance, you guys, like, just look how much I have used it. I don't know if it shows up, but basically a lot. It's like here, half, you know, half gone. So this fragrance, I have it in my collection for quite a while, but you know, like I've mentioned in the beginning of the video, I tend to reach for the same fragrances. So like if I get stuck on few fragrances, I wear them again, I use them up, I buy them again, you know, like I buy backups of them, so on and so forth. So for a long time I actually forgot about this fragrance, but recently, I remember just recently, I sprayed it again, and when I sprayed it again, I was hooked. So now these two fragrances are my go-to fragrances. Even like, can you imagine, like I recently went away with some friends of mine, and I brought with me just two fragrances. Like, I never thought that they would come when I would go somewhere and I would just bring two fragrances. I'm the kind of person, like I used to bring like 6 fragrances, and I'm talking about like 6 full bottles, maybe some samples, maybe some decants, you know, but I just brought these two fragrances, these two. So yeah, they're my current staples. I love them. I am honestly looking to get back a bottle of this fragrance because again, like it's half gone, you know. And yeah, like when I love a fragrance, or like when I'm really drawn to a fragrance, I like to use it as much as I want, you know, like whenever I want. I don't like to reserve them just for certain occasions. Now, I think I didn't mention how La Belle Parfum smells like. To me, you have in the opening this beautiful, sweet, rich, dense, warm amber accord that's made with labdanum, because you have in the opening for just a few seconds, you have a slight propolis-like undertone, but it's not, don't imagine like you will smell like propolis when you wear this fragrance. No, it's just, it has that undertone, and this is how labdanum or like amber accords made with labdanum smell like. So you have that in the opening mixed with this like sweet, warm, ripe pear with drizzle like caramel on top, you know. Basically in the opening it's the richest, the densest, the strongest, the most complex and the heaviest, and as this one starts to develop on the skin, I say it loses the amber accord slowly, and it goes into a more gourmand territory. Okay, so let's move on to the next fragrance. I think you can tell I'm very excited to show it to you. It's a fragrance that I got in my collection for a few months, but basically I had the brother of the fragrance. This is from Junaid Perfumes. This is called Moattar Dahab. This is the version for women. You guys, every time I look at the bottle and I see it has some like gold sparkling pigments, I am so mesmerized by them. Like I would just like stare at the bottle honestly, and like how the sparkling pigments move and everything. I love this fragrance. This to me is the ultimate topper. Like if you love Vanilla 28 from Kayali, if you love fragrances that you could use like that are made around vanilla and that you can use them as a topper, this fragrance, I'm sure you will freaking love it. Now I have here the 100 ml, but I have seen on their Instagram page that they actually came out with like 150 ml of this fragrance. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh, of course I would love to buy it, but here in Europe I haven't seen it. What I wanted to say is that I got a lot of questions, where can you buy Junaid fragrances in the US? Now in the US, I know Fragrance Arabia sells Junaid fragrances, and I would recommend you to get them from their website. They are the official distributors for Junaid perfumes in the whole North America, and I am very happy to let you know that now you can use a discount code that they provided for my channel, which is fragrance 15 for 15% off of your order, but I think it's above a certain price. So yeah, yeah, when I checked, I think it's above $100. I'm not sure, but I will ask them. I will ask them and I will put it in the description box. This one is like my favorite topper to use in fragrances. Like whenever I want something sweet, basically this is made around vanilla, but the thing is, it's a beautiful, rich, decadent vanilla. It's not like a cupcake vanilla or like a powdery vanilla or like the $10 fragrance that you can get in drugstore with vanilla, you know. It's a richer, denser, overall more robust vanilla, I would say. Now, to me, it has slight resemblances to how an actual vanilla pod smells like, but I feel like it doesn't fully go into that direction, you know. But it's very sweet, it's very dense, it's very rich. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance to use on your own, on its own, or layered with any other fragrances. It's amazing. I love to apply this one in my hair, like whenever I'm going somewhere, especially during the nighttime. Like I love to like do like few extra spritz of this fragrance, no matter what fragrance I'm wearing. So yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I got a lot of amazing feedback on this fragrance. So if you are looking to buy something for the summertime made around vanilla, I would recommend you to get this one. Okay, so let me show you an oldie but a goldie. Now this next fragrance, I've had it in my collection since 2016. That was the first time I actually used this fragrance. I used up a full bottle of it and I repurchased it like a few years ago. This is Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. Now to me, this is a staple in my collection. Like I love how this fragrance smells like. I can't say that I use it very often because I definitely don't, but sometimes when I'm in a very specific mood that I only want this fragrance. It's so beautiful, it's so dense, it's like kind of provocative in a sense. Very like all out there, you know, like a very like attention grabber fragrance, or like attention seeking fragrance. Basically it's the kind of fragrance that doesn't go unnoticed, you know, like it's the kind of fragrance that there's no way someone would walk past you without smelling this one on you, because it's strong, it's sweet, it's very sweet. To me, this one smells like a juicy, dewy, very sweet pear mixed with some caramel and some patchouli undertones. The patchouli here is very strong. Basically, this is your fruity patchouli, but very sweet, like ultra sweet. But I love this aspect about it. I don't know, I cannot see my collection without it, honestly. Yeah, beautiful. I think this fragrance has been out for like more than 10 years by now. More than 10 years for sure. But to me, it's a timeless fragrance. I don't know, like when I smell it, I don't think it's dated. I don't think it's like out of place now. I still think this is like a timeless fragrance. Most likely I will love this fragrance even in like 30 years from now, you know? Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. Now let me show you the next fragrance that I will be using a lot this summertime. This is unfortunately discontinued, but you can still find it on different websites. I still receive messages from different women who bought it, and honestly, most of them love it a lot. So yeah, this next fragrance is called Rose Absolue from Nina Ricci. I don't have a lot of it left, I will show you, but luckily I have a backup bottle of this fragrance. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Look, this one to me, summertime, like when I smell this fragrance, I'm imagining like a black satin dress with like, my words are not here with me today, like I cannot express myself for whatever reason. Like, what I wanted to say is that when I smell this fragrance, I am imagining like a black satin dress, and a woman with like red lipstick and curls, like lots of curls, you know, with like a lot of hair. So yeah, love this fragrance. I wore it a lot last summer and it worked amazing in the heat. I don't know, a lot of these fragrances, now I know some people would use them in colder months, but the thing is, in colder months, I reach for my heavier woods. I reach for like those really like heavy incensey fragrances, for like my heavy spices that, for instance, for a tobacco, you know, for amber oud tobacco from Haramain, but that one actually I have it in today's video as well, because yeah, why not, I love it all year round. So I don't really use this fragrance or like Tresor La Nuit a lot during winter. These are like my summer fragrances, or like what I would call a summer fragrance, you know. But this is why I say, please keep in mind that fragrance is very subjective. So what works for me might not work for you. Don't just buy fragrances. As always, try to test them, try to smell them, try to buy samples. I know samples can look like a waste of money, but I'm telling you, if you look in the long run, it will save you a lot of failed blind buys. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you think that because I'm here and you see me using up a lot of fragrances, that I use up all the fragrances in my collection, but it's not the case. I have fragrances that I have blind bought that I never use, honestly. So yeah, please be aware, be very mindful with the way you spend your money, you know. I think it's look for samples, look for decants, test fragrances in store, like do a little bit of research before, you know. So most likely when you will buy a fragrance, you know that it will have a place in your collection. You will know, you know that you will use it, it will put a smile on your face. It won't just be another bottle that just sits on your shelves or somewhere hidden, you know, in your closet, like some fragrances that I have are at the moment, and never using it, you know. So yeah. Now back to this fragrance. I love it, you guys. It's so beautiful. This is like when I smell this fragrance, honestly, to me it smells like sweet homemade rose jam that's like a little bit fermented. It's almost like somewhere in the mix it's a rose that like went bad a little bit, you know, but it's like slightly boozy, slightly fermented, but not boozy in the sense of alcoholic. No, boozy in the sense of fermented, you know. It's beautiful, it's dense, it's rich, because you have here a benzoin accord. Love benzoin in fragrances. I adore fragrances with the benzoin. Benzoin gives this like rich warmth and roundness to a fragrance, and a slight sweetness as well. Gorgeous resin. I feel like if you are interested in trying out resinous fragrances, or let's just say like resinous balsamic fragrances, because usually they go hand in hand, try benzoin for the first time. Try it because it's one of the most easiest to enjoy resins in fragrances. No, I'm a rose lover, like I don't know, like 70% of my collection has rose featured in it. Like I love roses. Like if I could, like I would like rub roses all over me. I love the smell of roses, especially those like deep sweet red roses. Like, I could use them all the freaking time. Like I love, like I don't know how can I love a note so much, but I just do. Like I love roses, but usually the roses in darker mixes, roses with spices, roses with vanillas, with some like why not resinous balsamic accords. I love rose with oud, rose with incense, but I'm not really a fan of soapy roses. I'm not a fan of soapy fragrances in general because for whatever reason they give me the worst headaches ever. Like I cannot wear them. I'm not a fan of like or like those really like soft rose water type of scents, you know. I want a rose that's more concentrated. Yeah, this one again, I just know I will use it a lot during the summer. I already have few outfits in mind, like, but to me this is a fragrance that you would use for a more special occasion, you know, or an occasion that requires a certain outfit, a certain presence, you know, a certain vibe, a certain mood. I feel like this is not the fragrance that I will use when I go to do like my groceries, you know, or like when I'm going, I don't know, to run a quick errand. I have other fragrances for those occasions, but this is a fragrance that when I want to feel a bit more elegant, a bit more like sensual, but like in a feminine way, yeah, this fragrance, amazing option. Like I would honestly advise you, if you know you love roses, if you know you love fragrances like the closest one to this one, of course, Oud Satin Mood, but it's less powdery, less heavy on violet, less heavy on the resins. This is made around rose mainly. And the other notes, I feel like they play here as like supporting notes, meaning that they just give like slight nuances here and there, you know, but the star of the show is rose for sure. Now enough about this fragrance, let's just move on to the next one. Okay, so speaking of heavier fragrances for the summertime, this next one that I know for sure that I will use a lot is Amber Oud Tobacco Edition by Haramain. I don't have a lot of it left, like legit, like I have few sprays left, but don't worry, like don't you worry, because I have my backup bottle already. Look, this fragrance, I used it all throughout winter and I have amazing memories with this fragrance, you guys, like going out with my girlfriends, like yeah, like I remember one time, hold on, let me check to see if I don't have any like dye, because the dye came off. Hold on. No, it's good. I wanted to check to see if I have any dye residue on my nose, so I don't film the whole rest of the video with my nose with dye, you know. But yeah, basically, I remember one time I actually carried this fragrance. It was the same night that the incident happened, that the fragrance got to leak everywhere, basically. We were going out to like our spot in town. I think we were like 4 of us, I think. Yeah, like I think we were all 4. And I was smelling amazing, like what's new. And then we decided to go to, I mean, not like a club, but like a party, you know. And it was winter, and I actually, like, we went out and we were expecting our Uber, and I decided to like top up my fragrance. And I remember they all smelled me and they all asked me if they could like do a few sprays, and they all did like few sprays of this fragrance, and the whole night we smelled all the same. But it was, yeah, I'm telling you, like, when I smelled this fragrance, that's the night I remember, and it was an amazing night. We had lots of fun, like, yeah, love this fragrance. I think this is my favorite tobacco-based fragrance. It's the most easy one to use. This one in the summertime works amazing. This one again in the winter, even more amazing, I feel like. But in the summer, again, you need to love more heavier fragrances, but I don't think it's suffocating. To me, this is not a suffocating fragrance. Like, I could use this fragrance even when I go to sleep, you know. To me, it relaxes me. It makes me smile. It makes me feel good. I love how it smells. Like, again, if I could like drench in this fragrance, I would drench in this fragrance. I think Al Haramain did an absolutely amazing job with this fragrance. And again, I saw that they had the 200 ml version. Now, someone told me that they have it in the USA. Here in Europe, I haven't seen the 200 ml version anywhere. I looked up on Otino, I looked up Vivantis, I looked up a lot of websites that I buy Middle Eastern fragrances from. I don't think it has arrived yet, but I'm hoping, because if I see the 200 ml, like, you best believe I'm gonna get the biggest bottle available, because this one is like 60 ml. Like, this one, I ran out of it pretty fast. Okay, so let me show you a fragrance that I know it will be like my grab and go fragrance when I want something light, when I want something soft, when I want something delicate, but that's still feminine. It's a little bit sweet. It's a bit like, it's a slightly gourmand in a way, but it's overall very easy to enjoy. Then I'm most definitely reach for Swar El Dahab by Bakhoor. Now, this fragrance to me, yeah, this is summer in a bottle. This is happy, this is fun, this is playful, this is flirty, this is girly. Yeah, it's beautiful. Basically, if you haven't seen the review I did for this one, by the way, when I have dedicated reviews for these fragrances, I will leave them down below. So feel free to check them out if the fragrance, let's just say, catches your interest. Now, this to me, like I've mentioned in that video, to me it smells like the most ripe mandarin orange combined with this like creamy cold body lotion feel in the background with some like coconutty almondy nuances. It's beautiful, it's sweet, it's slightly lactonic, but I feel like more lotiony than lactonic. Overall, I do really enjoy it a lot, and surprisingly, you guys, I got so many compliments for this fragrance. Like, I was not expecting it. I don't think it's a fragrance that, let's just say, like represents me to the fullest or that like matches like my personality to the fullest, but it's a fragrance that I don't have to think twice about reaching for it. Works amazing, like even with an all black outfit, you know, it works amazing because, like, how to say, like if I were to smell this fragrance on a person who like wears all black, I could tell that that person has like a very like colorful soul in a sense, you know. So yeah, very versatile, at least in my opinion. It does, I mean, look, to me, like if you love Yara, you will love this one even more maybe. I got feedback from people who had both, and some women told me that they actually prefer this one to Yara, but please keep in mind this is supposed to be an affordable fragrance, okay? I paid around 15 euros for this fragrance. Don't pay more than what it should cost, okay? Okay, now let me actually mention two decants that I have. These two decants, I received them a while ago from Dubai collection. I have here Oud Satin from the Ministry of Oud series from Paris Corner that I will most definitely use and finish, honestly. And after I will finish this one, I will think which one of these three fragrances I would like to add to my collection. I'm actually thinking either this one or, look, I forgot how the other one was called, but basically not Satin Luxe, the other one. Either this one or the other one. And I also have Forbidden Sugar, you guys, this fragrance. It's sickly sweet, but a sickly sweet fragrance that works for the summertime. Like, I love this fragrance, I love how it smells. I don't know, to me, it has, even when I smell it now, it has a lot of similarities to Scandale by Jean Paul Gaultier. Imagine like you have Scandale, that like honeyed facet from Scandale with some white florals, but I feel like you also have something from Alien, especially in the opening. To me, in the opening, it smells purple. You also have here a violet accord. It's a fragrance that goes through a beautiful development. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about how this one smells because it's quite complex and it goes through, like I've mentioned, a gorgeous development on the skin and on clothes as well. So please, if you're interested in trying out this fragrance, please check out the review that I have. It's an in-depth review. There I go through everything basically. But again, this is a fragrance that I just know I will use it a lot during the summertime. And again, I'm waiting to use up this whole decant, but I think I want to add this one to my collection as well. Now, the thing is, why I say I think I want to add this, because I want to be very mindful with the fragrances that I buy, you know. I don't want my collection to get bigger. If anything, I would like it to honestly be smaller. Like to like curate my collection so that I only have fragrances that I absolutely love and that I am happy when I reach for any of those fragrances, you know. I don't want to have fragrances that I don't like in my collection. I don't want to have fragrances that I don't use, like they just sit, you know. So yeah, if you are actually curious, like what is my goal when it comes to my fragrance collection, like my personal fragrance collection, is to make it even smaller. Because the thing is, I love, the thing about me, I am very curious, like I am very passionate about fragrances, like, yeah, I think you can tell, and I love to always try new fragrances. But the thing is, I can objectively appreciate the fragrance and enjoy how it smells and recommend it, but to certain people, you know, if I enjoy that fragrance, it doesn't mean that it's a fragrance that I would myself wear it, you know. So I'm only trying to like add full bottles of fragrances that I love in general, you know, and that I know I will use them. I don't like to see fragrances that just sit on my shelves or like hidden in my closet, actually, if I'm being very honest, and that I never use, you know. So yeah, but this one, Forbidden Sugar. This fragrance is amazing. It's so sweet. Again, you need to love sweet fragrances, but I feel like if you love Scandale by Jean Paul Gaultier, if you love fragrances like La Belle from Jean Paul Gaultier as well, if you overall love sweet designer fragrances, but keep in mind this is a bit more unique than your, let's just say, I completely lost my thoughts. Basically, then the, how do you say in English, like then your average designer fragrance, I feel like this is a bit more unique, so do give it time. Also, I have received a lot of feedback from people who said that the more this one sits, the better it gets. So if you buy a full bottle of it, let it sit for a while, but actually let all your fragrances sit for at least a month, you know, so they get to macerate a little bit. So this next fragrance that I already know I will be using it a lot this summer because I'm already using it a lot is the Kayali one Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli 64. Now, I don't want to blind you with the bottle, so I'm going to keep the bottle down, but basically I love this fragrance. By far, this is my favorite release from Kayali ever up to this date. I have not tried yet the pistachio one, honestly, but this is the most me fragrance out of all the Kayali fragrances. Basically, to me, like if someone would ask me how this fragrance smells like, imagine a rich balsamic take on a patchouli fragrance. You have the patchouli facets, you have the balsamic richness with that specific like ambery nuances in the background and with some gourmand facets, but like beautiful, delicious gourmand facets. You have here something that smells like creme brulee. You have here something that smells like melted brown sugar. So it's like, it overall is gorgeous. Like, I just love this fragrance. I love it. I know it used to be, I mean, I know it is a, basically it's not in their permanent collection, but I hope they will make it, honestly, because I really enjoy how this one smells. Again, I think this fragrance is like in my top, I don't want to say top 10 because I have more, like in my top 20 for life for sure. I love this fragrance in the warm weather. I love it in cold weather. I love it in warm weather. I love to apply this fragrance. Like, again, it's a fragrance that just matches me so well. Like the nose that I love, the way it's done, it's amazing, honestly. It's amazing. I know she received a lot of backlash for this fragrance, and I can see why. Like I've mentioned in the review I did for this fragrance, to me, Kayali, like now that I got to actually test their fragrances, because I bought, again, like a few months ago, I bought their discovery kit. I feel like fragrances from Kayali, up to a point, they all played it safe. Like they played it safe, you know, like you could easily blind buy a fragrance from them without it shocking you in any way, you know. It was yeah, it was safe. They played with notes that are very easy to enjoy. Overall, they made fragrances that were very likable. And the thing is, this is the first fragrance from them that I feel like it's loud, it's bold, it's unapologetic. I mean, this one and the tobacco one, the Invite Only Amber, again, that one I feel like it's on the louder side, on the more unapologetic side, but I feel like this one takes it even a step above. And this is something that I actually appreciate about this fragrance. I love fragrances, like when it comes to fragrances that I actually wear, you know, I love fragrances that are not afraid to be loud, to be more unique, to shine in their own way, to be something that's not mass appealing, you know. I love fragrances that are mass appealing, you know. I have them in my collection as well. I use them as well, but the fragrances that speak to my soul the most are the more unusual ones in a way, you know. Now, not the unusual ones, I don't want to smell like motor oil all over my body, you know. No, that's not my vibe. But when it comes to notes like rose, like patchouli, certain spices like tobacco, oud, you know, I love a lot of fragrances that are made around this note and that are not afraid to like shine, you know, to like be there, be present. So I want to close the video with a fragrance that I don't think I have showed you that much on my channel, even though I do use it a lot. Now, this is Intense Cafe from Montale. Now this fragrance, look, it was very popular, like very popular a few years ago on YouTube. I actually got it. I got Rose's Vanille because of the hype. To me, I'll just leave it here. to me the hype was real for Roses Vanille as well as for Intense Cafe. Now, of course, since then, you have plenty of other fragrances made around coffee that are more unique, more different, more, let's just say, more smooth, more realistic, you know. But I feel like for that time, like the most emblematic coffee fragrance, at least that I heard of, because back then I mainly knew designer fragrances and Middle Eastern fragrances, was Black Opium. Now, of course, if you compare this one to Black Opium, of course, this is more refined, more unique, you know. But since I would say since its popularity worldwide, you have so many inspirations of this fragrance, so many dupes, so many clones, so many, like just from my mind, you have Atyab El Marshud for Black. Again, similar scent profile. With Roses Vanille, with this one, you have Tif El Habar del Zafran. Again, similar scent profile. You have Dahab Safi. Now, Dahab Safi, from all the fragrances that I have tried, is the most similar to this one. So if you want something, an inspiration, let's say, that it's very similar to this one, get Dahab Safi. All the other ones, to me, are more close to Roses Vanille, or like a fusion between these two, but Dahab Safi is the one that goes closest to this one. You also have Rose Gourmand from Zara. You have so many fragrances, so I feel like since so many fragrances within this scent profile came out, like my curiosity for this fragrance started to like tone down a little bit, you know, especially since I used a full bottle of Tif El Hab by Ard El Zafaran, and I also used a full bottle of the Dahab Safi. Now, I think they're amazing fragrances. I think they're fragrances that are very easy to enjoy, but I have noticed that now that the summer is coming, I am actually missing wearing this fragrance because, again, to me, this is like my kind of summer fragrance, you know. It's a fragrance that's not too suffocating, but it's present. It has something unique about it. I mean, unique, not anymore, but it used to have something unique about it. But at the same time, it's easy to enjoy by people around. Now, of course, I don't want to choke people around me, you know. I don't want to make them feel dizzy. I don't want to make them feel any kind of discomfort because of my fragrance. But I feel like this fragrance, it's impossible to have like to not enjoy it in a way, because it's not challenging at all, you know. I think it's a pretty easy to enjoy fragrance. So yeah. See, even now, but to me the thing is, I can only wear this fragrance during the daytime. For whatever reason, when it comes to nighttime fragrances, I feel the need to layer it with something else, you know. Again, this fragrance will be a fragrance that I will use a lot this summer. I have this feeling. This one as well as Roses Vanille, but Roses Vanille I showed it to you a lot more here on YouTube, while this one I haven't showed it to you that much. So as you guys, these were some of the fragrances that I will be using this summertime season a lot. Basically, these are all fragrances that I enjoy a lot wearing, especially in the high heat, even though I wear some of these fragrances all year round. Now, I could have included a lot more fragrances, honestly, because I could have included Arabian Stonka, Seja Gold, Shaka Food, Ouda Swad, Bidun SM, like Masque Mysterio, like what else? Like La Fille de Berlin. I cannot wait to wear that fragrance. So yeah, I could have included a lot more fragrances, but I decided to keep this like relatively short and sweet, you know. Now, I'm not saying that these are fragrances that you should wear in the summertime. No, I'm just saying that these are fragrances that I will wear a lot in warm weather, because are fragrances that I enjoy them in high heat and they make me happy and they put a smile on my face. So yeah, if you're interested in any of these fragrances, like I always say, please do your research, okay? Please do your research and be very mindful with where you actually invest your money. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what are some of your favorite fragrances that you will be reaching out for a lot this summer. Like, let me know down below. I am really curious and I would love to know that. Again, if you want to tell me anything, please put it down below and I promise that I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. There you can get to know a bit more. There you can get to know me, let's just say, a bit more on a personal level than here on YouTube. So yes, I will see you in my next video, but until then, thank you so much for watching and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye.